gentlemen, and welcome back to the Star Wars Clone Wars Retrospective. I'm the Mr. Freeze wannabe Trask now.
Ooh. I am the quotable Taylor Field.
So if you've not guessed by our nicknames or the title of this episode, I don't know what's happening. But we are reviewing every single episode of the Star Wars Clone Wars animated series in preparation for the Clone Wars revival. You have a man here that loves the series. You have a man who hates the prequels and have not seen the series. So you get a wide range of opinions. Before we start off, I got two gripes with Mr. Field here. So, number one. I was wondering, I was going to wait a little bit, but for the interest of the show and for it to be successful, I was gonna wait, but I thought, no, I should bring it up. How come you have yet to make a thumbnail that has a single lightsaber in it? And the other thing is, Taylor, huge fan of the clones. He's always talking about the clones, Commander Cody, oh, my rock, everything like that. He just talks about all the time. I just knew there's going to be so many fucking clone thumbnails. Why is Ventress in the double lightsaber duel with Obi-Anakin not the thumbnail? Why are you picking just Anakin sleeping in the tent with the fucking clone there? And I just think it's because Taylor wants any excuse to use the clones as much as possible. We're 4 episodes in. He's already used it twice. I said, hey, try and make them different every time. So if we got Yoda, okay, that works. So if we got the clones, okay, that works. And then we got, who did we get for the third one? Why am I forgetting his name? The green alien guy.
Kit
Fisto. I'm like, okay, that's all good. But then we get Anakin in a tent, and then we got another clone. It could have at least been Obi-Wan, but it should have been Ventress fighting with lightsabers. Why has there not been a single lightsaber to finish off? Because I knew you were going to do... So from now on, I want clearance of what the main picture is going to be. And then I also want clearance on my second point. But I want clearance because I don't want every fucking thumbnail to be the clone. I want some variety going on here. You need a lightsaber to get people intrigued.
If I can show you the next thumbnail, you'd be
Okay,
you know what? I'll tell you the next thumbnail. It's got Mace. He does lightsaber, jolted up. He looks sick.
Because he's a Mace fan, that's why he's so biased. I'll look at you. Send me that picture first, and then I'm going to give you the thumbs up. Because now this is a 2-thumb system, and if it's not, if we're disagreeing on the thumbnail, we'll send it to the non-Star Wars Retros, and they'll pick. Because I was like, this is not need to be another fucking clone.
Fair enough.
This is ridiculous. Gripe number 2. You are no longer picking how many episodes we do or the selection. We did not need to do 5 episodes. You're like, oh, we need to do these 5.
You said it was 3, 3, 3, or 3 for episodes.
Or we could have done 4 or 3. We can change it up.
You didn't say 4 or 3.
What? We can change as much as we want. Like, I trusted Taylor because I did this Spider-Man Retro. I said, hey, we need to watch these 3 back together because they're a part of the arc. And then I'm like, oh, with these 5, like, I said, I even have it recorded. I said, like, what are the blocks of arcs that we need to watch? Would it be 3 episodes, 4 episodes, 5 episodes? And then he looked at it, he's like, I think these 5. And I thought 5, that's a lot of episodes to watch. That's an hour and 40 minutes, so that's a lot of time. So I thought, okay, if that's what we need to do to finish it, we will. There's only 2 episodes that have to do with each other, so we could have watched
those.
That's what
I told you last time, though.
No, but then you're like, oh, there's those 2, and then those 2, and those 1. So we could have easily done a 4, and a 3. We did not need to do 5 and 5
there
again.
Was 2, then there was the one-off, and then it starts another arc that's like 3
But it
episodes.
barely starts another arc.
Oh, it's big time.
No, it doesn't. This is why,
time.
I'm doing some investigating now, because there's not a big fucking arc. You and I have an arc, as far as an arc is an overlining throughout the whole season, but I thought there was like a storyline or an arc that is just a few episodes combined, which it's really not. Like the episode with 4 and 5 that we're going to do, and then you're saying that 6, it's barely an arc. It's just like, oh, they had some adventures, now they're on this planet. It's not a be continued, it's not part 1, part 2, it's not a mini arc. It's like, oh yeah, it's an arc, it's a whole fucking season arc.
To be fair, for all the fans listening, we talked about the episodes last time. We both mutually agreed on doing 5 episodes for this one episode.
Yeah, and I'm saying we're gonna do another 5, but then after that, I'm doing some investigating and I'm picking the order selection. As someone who has ran the very successful Spider-Man Retro, he's done the other retros. I trusted Taylor the episode thing, but I'm like, I did not need to stay up till midnight last night watching these fucking episodes, especially because some of these fucking episodes suck. The big one, by the way.
Oh no!
I was pretty disappointed. we're gonna get into it. Oh yeah, so how this goes, like the first episode record we did, I was like, okay, these episodes were fine. The next one was like, oh, this was great. And then there was iffy, there's some really good ones, but I was like, oh, I can't wait to see what's next in the Clone Wars. These put me back down in the mud, these episodes. I was like, none of these stood out. I know I'm spoiling stuff. I think there's one episode I really enjoyed, but yeah, we'll talk about it in a second. But let's get into these episodes. Yeah, so that's a great. One, I'm going to be watching Taylor on his thumbnail making now, and two, I picked the fucking episode selection. I do not need to watch in 5 in a row if it's not a whole arc. So you know what? From now on, we're going to do 5 for the next one, but then it's going to be back to 3 episodes or 4 episodes, because that was fucking ridiculous, by the way. God damn. Episode 13, The General Crash. The Jedi Crash, sorry. Anakin and Ahsoka arrive at a pitch sky battle to help the besieged Jedi General
Aayla Secura.
Anakin is gravely injured in the fight. Aayla and Ahsoka, along with now wounded Anakin, Rex, and surviving clones crash land on an uncharted grass-covered planet, Meridian, forced to leave Anakin behind in order to save him. Aayla? Is it Aayla?
Aayla Secura.
Aayla? I just need the first name. Aayla teaches Ahsoka why Jedi have no personal attachments. They make their way to Lerman Village. Their ruler, Tiwat explains that they're pacifists in this war and they're not aligned with either side. Hesitant to have anything to do with the Jedi, Tiwat agrees to help save Anakin's life. Jedi Crash. So these episodes for me, or I guess just this episode, maybe that's for the next one. It's not an awful episode. I was just kind of bored, but to be honest, I didn't really care about. And now, like, this sounds bad. Someone's gonna be like, oh, super sexist. Like, now it's the second one of, like, I didn't really care for this female Jedi as well. And you can't say that. You know why? Because some of my biggest praises have been about the Padme and the episode she's in and the Padme episodes. It's just, so far, the 2 Jedi Knights or Masters that Ahsoka's been compared with, I just have not been that thrilled with. To also throw this in, I like Kit Fisto and Plo Koon on the side already before this. So maybe that's it. Maybe I'll get a male Jedi too and be like, hey, I'm not really digging this male Jedi at all. But just something about the past too, wasn't a fan. I think they have some good valuable lessons talking. But obviously it's tough to talk about this one fully without talking about the other one. But this episode overall, I think with this and the other one, I was kind of bored by them and I didn't really care what was going on. The creatures were fine. But yeah, so for me, it was just an alright episode.
Yeah, I mean, this episode obviously is one that seems like every time I go back to rewatching this series, I always come around to this episode and it's like, oh, okay, well, here it is again. I guess I'll just jump through it.
Here it is again.
It's not something like I hugely love, but I definitely like the beginning sequence where Anakin's Jedi fleet arrives and they go in and they're just flying a landing craft. They board the enemy ship and they're trying to get out and they're about to land their ship into their Bender class cruiser's hangar bay and just everything just goes haywire and the ship ends up jumping to light speed inside the ship and I thought it was super cool, completely action packed. I loved it. But yeah, I thought that I love the scene where they abandon Anakin. They go to the village and Rex is just there and he's just kind of on guard, and I like how I like how it just felt like it was just him kind of on his own, and I like that kind of vibe where it's just the Jedi is incapacitated and it's just the clone trooper, and he has to kind of exploit his abilities more than he probably what's the word? Think outside the box, I should say, especially dealing with turkeys.
Exploit his box.
These giant turkey bird things or whatever.
Those are definitely some weird creatures.
Yeah, but I like seeing Anakin just all battered up and injured and just trying to be on the mend here. And I can't remember the other clone trooper. Was it Commander Bly? I think it was.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, Captain Rex and Commander Bly. I always love seeing just a couple stormtroopers or regular clone troopers, make it through. I know.
Oh, you're not Star Wars fan. You don't know the Anakin Thrawn cover.
Fuck. Oh my god.
This fucker over here trying to tell me, because this is months ago for the new listeners, but if you're a Patreon, that's why this wouldn't be an old story. Head over to Patreon, give us $1, $5, great content. Get it all for $5. He's giving me shit because I wouldn't go get the Infinity War Steel case. He goes, oh, well, you're not really a fan, are you? I said, I'm pretty sure someone's buying for my birthday, so maybe I'll still get it, but if not, that's fine, up to them, they can get that. And she's like, oh, you're not really a fan, are you? So I threw back in his face, he didn't buy the Anakin Thrawn edition. So there you go, Star Wars fans, hardcore fans, you think he's a poser, he's not a real fan. He could have got the Anakin Thrawn edition, the special edition cover, he didn't get it. And I gave him ways to save money, like Cinemia, where, go get Cinemia, you can get 3 movies for the price of 1. Oh no, that's cheating. No, that doesn't even make sense. That makes 0 sense. So that's mean you have Netflix, you're paying $10 a month for like hundreds of movies. Is that cheating? Why don't you cancel your Netflix? You fucking goon. Bampa fodder.
Needless to say, I ended up getting the Steel Case Avengers movie.
Yeah, no Anakin Thrawn thing. Do you have anything to continue on this episode?
I do. Where's I going with this? Clone Troopers. Yeah, the Clone Troopers.
Oh, the Stormtroopers. You screwed up, right?
So you get some regular Clone Troopers that are on the adventure with Commander Bly and Captain Rex and the Jedi. And it's like, okay, this is cool. I love seeing a couple clones make it out of the battle, because there were like obviously hundreds that died up on those Star Destroyers.
Yeah, I love those clones. He likes putting thumbnails.
And so here we are, but then the sad thing is, the ones that don't have significant markings on their armor, you always for sure know they're dead.
They're just Star Trek red shirts or whatever.
Yeah, they're there to be expendable, and I hate it because they have their own personal like unique qualities that they show briefly, but then
enough.
As soon as like one shot to the shoulder will kill them instantly. It's like, oh, this sucks. So, like like the turkey vulture things are gonna just rip them to shreds, and it's just very sad and upsetting.
Do they have an actual name?
They probably do. I just don't. I don't know. I don't think they
Turkey vultures.
Turkey vultures. So yeah, other than that, that's pretty cool. And I like how the village is just trying to stay super neutral and just didn't want to be a part of the war. I get all that. I'm trying to think how they left their other planet, because that's the general idea I got. They left a planet and they came to this planet. And,
AIDS.
Huh?
AIDS.
AIDS. Well, those are spaceships?
That's why they had to leave.
Oh, they had to leave.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was just everywhere.
Just everywhere. But they didn't have any spaceships, so I don't know how they got to this planet in the first place, unless they were saying we just moved villages over to this side of the planet.
I think that's how I took it. I didn't take it.
I took it that they moved planets.
So then maybe someone dropped them off.
That's very nice of whoever did that. Yeah, but that's all I really got for this episode. It wasn't bad.
So when Ahsoka's talking to Ayla, she's talking about having personal attachments and everything like that, so maybe it'll come up later on in the series. I know she was just talking about in general, but I was also getting the vibe, is she talking about just being Anakin's friend, or does she have some like romantic feelings towards him? Because that's
Ahsoka?
Yeah, because that's... No, but you don't even think, like, if you read it between the lines, because the way she's like, oh, and you develop personal attachments, and you just care about something, like, I know she was talking about as a friend, but just the way maybe the voice actress was saying it I could read between the lines that maybe she likes Anakin more than a friend. I'm going to watch out for this in the entire series.
That Ahsoka likes Anakin?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it just comes down to...
Anakin's a single man, according to the public.
Oh, yeah. But I think it just comes down to, like, they know it's the Jedi way, be single, and they know...
Be single, don't mingle.
I think she's well aware of the fact that apprentices can really form strong relationships with their masters.
Okay, but then... So, obviously, you say that, but then you got Anakin in a relationship here, and if I've heard, as far as rumors correctly, doesn't Obi-Wan kind of get semi-involved with someone in the series?
Never actually involved.
But still, romantic feelings, right?
Yes, but I can't get into it because you haven't watched them already.
No, but I'm going to keep my suspicions up, but I think Ahsoka, there might be a little more.
The thing was, without spoiling it, in the case of Obi-Wan, there is that there, but he remembers his teachings, like Ayla Secura was preaching, and just, to remember that we don't have attachments.
I'm not saying they're gonna get it on or anything, but I'm saying that she may like him in a romantic way. That's my suspicion.
I don't think so. I mean, that's like, I don't know, that's like...
That's like what?
Well, that's like student and teacher kind of
happens
thing.
All the time.
Yeah,
illegally.
But student and teacher aren't part of a Jedi Order that has no emotional attachments and just doesn't believe in like engaging.
And what would have been happening in Last Jedi if Rey, Joy, and Kylo? That would have been a master-student relationship getting it on.
But we don't know. Everyone's just assuming they're gonna be.
They would have been fucking for days. They would have Force babies everywhere. They would have been mind fucking the shit each other, wild fucking everything like that. They would have been like, oh yeah, Luke doesn't have that island anymore. Let's go there and just like disintegrate it and like just like pollute it with our.
No, that is just based off of that fight scene they had together, and you're like, oh, this is where they just go at it with each other.
I think this happens so much on the show. Last Jedi tirade. You don't think there's any romantic feelings there with Kylo and Rey? I think there 100% was, because the reason the way they signify it is just the way to like they're touching hands, and that's like the most classic like dating like first thing you do as a kid, like oh I'm holding a girl's hand. Like it was such a symbolism, and I think that Kylo felt more, and maybe Rey didn't, because you know he's kind of crazy, but I think there was a part of her, and I think Kylo definitely had feelings for her. So I don't know how you can't get that at all, that there was not an attraction there. And why else would they do that scene with him with his shirt off? Like there was too many like.
That
and
was
there's these rumors that they got
just for laughs. I think the
have
whole.
You heard these rumors that they have a kid together in episode 9?
I haven't heard those rumors.
Fuck, I hope it happens. I so hope it happens. I'm not sure if it's like because their minds crossed, or it's like some Anakin Force baby stuff, or like if they did get on, but man, I want this. That would be so cool if they don't kill Kylo in episode 9, and you'd have this kid who would grow up in episode 10, and his mom is like the leader of the light side, and then the dad's leader of the dark side.
Yeah, but it's the Skywalker's.
Awesome.
It's coming to the end. The Skywalker's like storyline. He's a Skywalker. So.
Well. Maybe JJ's gonna reduct that, but you don't think there's any romantic there at all?
I felt just when I was watching it, I just feel like it's two people that have reached like a climactic connection.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be reaching a climactic connection, all right. Episode 9, the dick strikes back.
But it was no way like we're gonna get our Force on kind of feeling. It was just like
I think you're wrong.
We have this super connection through the Force, and it's like I don't know. It's like a Jedi and his lightsaber. It's like this weapon. Weapon is your life. You know.
No,
I think it's just a very like an in tune connection like through the Force. I don't think it was all like.
I think you're definitely the minority of this, and I also think that when we do Last Jedi commentary track, I'm gonna point all this stuff.
That wasn't one of your predictions though. You should check out the Cantina conversation.
It wasn't, no, because I thought it was over. But these rumors of some sort of baby happening. Fuck yeah, bring on the baby. You know what? Do you have anything else to say? Because I'm going to throw the group chat, the Geekverse group chat, see if they'll sell this argument for us. If
About Rey babies?
About Rey and Kylo, if they wanted to fuck. So, what else about this episode? Or you can go on your finals, if anything.
I think I'm just going to give it a good old one thumb up here. I think it was, it wasn't overly bad. I liked how it started off. I definitely found the village and stuff storyline to be and I felt like it definitely can drag on a little bit in this episode, but I like the moral of it and the message, and I love the clones in it. And yeah, I thought it was pretty exciting. I like how it kind of set up for the second episode. That was actually a pretty good episode, which we'll get into.
This next episode.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me see if I got any more notes. I put the question, I said, settle argument with Taylor and I, hopefully we can get for good TV. I said, if on the same side, light or dark, would Rey and Kylo be fucking? So we'll see what the other Geekverse thinks. If not, then we'll update you in the next episode. We'll try to. Let me see. Let's see. I think it was a good conversation that Yaki had with Ayla. I like that they talk about being peacekeepers. Don't throw any of your bias which way we would go. So I liked that she says Jedi are peacekeepers, and he does point out like, hey, you guys aren't really keeping the peace, peacekeeping. He brings a point to them being violent, and Ayla kind of like takes a moment of pauses and thinks about it. So I liked that conversation. And then also it was very strange that these other clones. There's one clone named Cameron that threw me off because I feel like it's a very, very normal name to have in Star Wars. His name is just
very
Cameron.
Normal guy.
And there's Cody, but yeah, there's Cameron. Because also his partners were Lucky and Flesh. So you got Lucky, Flesh, and Cameron. Very weird that he's just Cameron. And then also, who got the bum deal to name you Flesh? Like, who wants to be named Flesh at all? Like, even in the war.
Their names are given to them based on... It's either...
What in the world was based on giving this guy the name fucking Flesh?
I don't know, you have to look it up. You can probably Google it and probably find it on, like, Wikipedia or something like that. But no, their clone trooper names are usually given to them because of something they've done or a situation, or it's just their name, like
he loves eating flesh.
CT 5555. That's why his name is Fives, or Captain Rex, which is CT 5767.
I'm just giving him. I'm just giving him a backstory that he's a cannibal.
He's a cannibal.
Yeah, he eats dead clones. I'll give this episode a thumb in the middle. Like I said, it wasn't the worst, wasn't the greatest, just kind of alright. Defenders of the Peace, the fall of the Part 2. The leader of the Lerman, Tiwaka, refuses to shelter the Jedi from arriving separatist forces, fearing that such an action would unnecessarily bring his neutral people into war. The gang, I'm just saying the gang, because they just list off the wounded clones, Anakin, are heroes. Respect their wishes as they don't want to jeopardize the village with their presence. So they have to retreat into the wilds of the planet. Separatist General Lockdude arrives. Lockdude arrives to test a devastating weapon, which they plan to use on Lerman. Ultimately, the villagers have to decide whether to lay down with the Separatists or fight with the Jedi to defend their village. Watched this episode last night. Taylor, you have to walk me through some stuff because I didn't have many notes. I don't remember much. I just put boring episode.
Okay.
Just wasn't. And this I guess I had one note. Anakin, like they really played up last episode in the beginning of this episode that he's really hurt, he's limping or something like this. But the second he's out in action on the venture, he's completely fine and they never played up again.
No, because like the other Jedi that jumped over the base and jumped in there and stuff, he didn't. He had to stay on the ground with the clones and go through the front door and stuff.
Okay, there's one instance, but I really think they could have leaned on that a bit more because they leaned on so much in the beginning. It's very much like they call it selling and wrestling. If the whole match a guy's getting his arm worked over, but then the finale he comes back and he wins and then he's just holding his arm out like nothing. That's how I felt Anakin was.
He's not good at acorn gel that they used on Anakin though. It healed him.
Did it heal him?
Yeah, it healed him up.
But is it an insta heal?
They don't specifically say, but they say it works pretty damn good.
That's a quote. Works pretty damn good.
No, I'm not. Don't quote me on that.
Works pretty damn good. Yeah, I know. I'm flesh. I know everything about the human skin.
But
we need to kick him off the team.
This episode, how does it go? So they go off retreating into the wilds to just kind of make their escape. They leave the people on their own, and then the Separatists land, and they test out that weapon, which incinerates the organic tissue, which is where flesh comes in, and then it keeps the droids intact though, so that's good.
Well, because they don't have flesh.
They don't have flesh, yeah. So
makes sense, yeah.
It makes sense. So I like when they were testing this weapon, and the clones just coincidentally were just going out there, and it was just such an over the top. It logically calculated wise didn't make sense when Commander Bly trips and Ayla jumps out of the tree. And just how she swings so way far out, close down, grabs Commander Bly, and then lands, jumps on the branch. I don't know, some Jedi voodoo stuff right there. It just didn't add up.
Jedi voodoo stuff.
But I think the overall episode wasn't too bad. I liked how they took out the droids and just kind of played with them and lured them in. They set up the shield generators on the camp, and they were like, "You need to fight." And he's like, "No, we won't fight," or whatever his voice is, because he's like,
"What are you doing? The red and green show? What
the red and green."
That's the Canadian show.
Oh, that was a good show. But no, he's got that. We don't want to be into your war. I can't do the good accent. You know his accent.
I know my accent. Yeah. I didn't ask you to do it. I didn't think you'd pull it off. But you just decided to keep working on your ventriloquist act during this episode.
Well, he's got such a distinguished voice. We want no part of your war here.
He does it again.
So I think it was cool because the people came to the decision, we're just going to fight. We're not just going to sit here and die. And the old man, Alien's like, if we're going to die, then so be it. We're going to die. It's not our way to fight.
I just feel like little aliens just are fine with death, They're just him, Yoda. They're just fine with going out.
They're totally okay with it. Mm-hmm. I like how they took down the droids, though. They tripped all of them, and Ahsoka just ran over them with her lightsaber, which is a good,
that was cool.
Good way to do it. But, I like how they all did everything that they did, but I felt really bad because at the end of the episode, you just see...
I got that, what you did when you did it to me album.
I feel bad when you see those Republic Venator destroyers coming in from orbit. Yeah, I know they're coming to pick up Anakin and everything like that, but I just feel sad, okay, does this mean there's going to be occupation on the planet now, or what's going to happen? Because I feel like the chief kind of...
Cool stuff! They just start taking their all their action figures.
I don't know how the... I don't know how the Separatists really get away with doing what they do because it seems like they just like pillage and destroy and kill so many
Well, they're
planets.
bad guys.
From a certain point of view. Like they're
the Clone Wars series so far have not really. There's a few times, but like episodes like this don't give it a certain point of view. They're just wrecking shop.
It's a confederacy of independent systems. So systems that were in the Republic that didn't feel justified by what the Republic stood for broke off and formed this.
And how is
create their
Revenge of
own.
the Sith like a certain point of view when they just fucking do Order 66 and like execute all the Jedi?
Well, as from a Sith, it's a certain point of view. You know, you don't like the Jedi because you're a Sith. That's what you believe in. The Jedi hate you. So, for certain
Ladies and
point of view,
gentlemen,
you're gonna kill them.
the only character in all of Star Wars on the bad side that has any reason that you could say was a hero as well written as Kylo Ren.
I don't know about that.
Yep, that's how it goes. Sorry, Darth Vader. Sorry, Annie. You have anything else to say on this episode?
No, I got nothing. How about you?
No.
Okay.
A boring episode. I didn't have any notes. I was watching and it just kind of like brain freezed me. I think because I was like I didn't need a two-parter and then this happened and I can retract my statement about there not being any leveled villains, but I feel like they sometimes try and play it off like we're good and bad, but like you said, like how do Separatists do this? I feel like there's too many things, whether it's them or the Sith or Palpatine or Vader. Like the second Vader chops down, like little 8-year-olds, there's no more from a certain point of view, like it's kind of out the window. Unfortunately, that's why I don't like lots of prequels. Because
remember after that, he says, "From my point of view, the Jedi."
yeah, I know, but it's like, I guess they are because you're a fucking little coward who kills kids. God damn, I hate Anakin so much. Thumbs in the middle for me at this episode. Do we ever come back to T-Walcott?
Many times. There's like 4 more. No,
Fuck!
they don't.
I'm
It's
done.
done.
Clone Wars Retro's canceled right here. We're gonna go do a Rebels Retro. Try that out. What rating you giving this?
I gave it a 1. Did I give it a 1 thumb up? Well, I'll give it a 1 thumb up now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Episode 15, Trespass. Arriving on the desolate ice world of Oto Platuna.
Sure.
Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan... You're not a real fan. Obi-Wan Kenobi investigate the disappearance of a clone security force station on a remote outpost. The Jedi, accompanied by Senator Churchy and Chairman Cho, of the nearby moon Pantora, related to Pandora. Close. Soon discover their clone troopers were attacked by a tribe of furry natives known as the Taz. Fierce beast-riding warriors. Is it Taz or Tals?
Towels.
Tals. Tals are very territorial and only want to be left alone. The Jedi managed to negotiate peace with the Tals chieftain Chushin when greedy Chairman Cho breaks it by insisting the planet and the Tals are under his power. The resulting conflict escalates into war between the clones and Tals with the Jedi in the middle. I think... Why am I not remembering the next episode? I don't remember the next episode... Oh, no, I remember that. That was a good episode, too. I like this episode. I think this is my favorite out of the bunch. And, I'm a big Ewok hater, but I thought these were fun enough. They remind me much more, even though they're furry, much more of sand people as far as their territorial. They want to just stay in this section and leave them alone. I thought I liked the politics of you kind of have this headstrong chairman who's just doesn't want to work with these aliens. He's like this minor culture and just like, hey, we're just going to get rid of them. And I thought the war and the battle near the end was really well done. It's one of the best set pieces I think we've had in this series. I was surprised how violent it actually was and characters were getting killed off and these little aliens and the chairman got the spirit of the back. So yeah, this was a good episode. I love snow in any movie. It's Christmas movies, stuff like that. So I don't know how... This is something that I bring up in the new movies too. Like, how many planets are there? Like, you got Jakku and then you got this. How come there's always, like, why do we never just, like, in this, do we ever go to Hoth in the Clone Wars? Do we ever go to Tatooine in the Clone Wars? Like, why are they kind of afraid to go back to planets? Like, same thing with Force Awakens. It's like, I know they want to make it different, but why was Jakku not just Tatooine? Because it's basically just Tatooine, isn't it? Like, I don't know. Like, what, like... They try to change some stuff up, and that's fine. I'm fine with Jakku, but I do want them to go back to one of these planets. I don't think we're always going to make up a new planet, like...
I could give you one thing that they go back to.
What do they go back to?
Geonosis.
Nah, I want OG stuff. I know that place is. I don't need to see the long neck.
Off the top of my head, I can't remember right now if they do, but I have a strong hunch that they actually do go to some of those planets.
Who knows if we're here for the rest of them? We got one vote from Jessica. Yes, they would be fucking. So far, Ray and Kyle, 1 point for me. I think you're reading this wrong, man. I think the way you saw when there was like a force connection and then maybe minor flirtation, I think it's the other way around where they just wanted to fuck more and the force is like, oh yeah, the force is kind of.
Disney doesn't condone in that kind of stuff though.
I'm not saying they have hardcore sex scene in the movie. I'm saying that they cared and had feelings for each other more. Like that's how because they're both lost.
They're not gonna
see
skip that far ahead though in time. I think that JJ is gonna probably put it like maybe a couple years ahead. And she's gonna have all these new Jedi and stuff like that.
No, what do you mean they're not gonna? I'm saying there was a romantic connection there, and if Kylo would have went to the light side or Rey would have went to the dark side, I think they would have been in love and dating, and that's where I think that could have been the first master apprentice sort of deal going on. That's what I'm saying.
But neither one of them is really the master.
I think Kylo would have been the master because he's more experienced. I think so because he says you join me. I think that was him trying to, and I think she would have I don't know, but I think he gets experience. But either way, I liked this episode. 1 point for me, and tell us in the comments what you think about Kylo and Rey, and we'll have to visit this on our Cantina conversations.
Oh yeah,
we'll look at all the relationships. But I really liked this episode. It was really good. I liked his niece taking. Was his niece at the end there taking control? Maybe I'm wrong, but whoever she was at the end when she gets power and she talks about the treaty and
Senator Turi.
Yeah, and they do they throw them the spears and so I liked this episode.
Yeah, this episode was really good. I thought it definitely had a horror vibe to it when they're inspecting the base, and not only the clone base but the droid base too. And it's just all been deserted, and it just feels cold and eerie. Basically, I love that setup. And I thought it was super
just
cool.
Like Flesh's bedroom.
Flesh's, yeah.
Cold and eerie.
I love the setup.
Hi, Master Kenobi.
Flesh. It's too bad he's gone.
The side of lima beans in the Force, Master Kenobi.
Yeah, I think the episode overall though it was very cold and concerning, and that Chairman Cho he was such a prick. He got what he had coming to him, and he just declares this war with this minimal amount of equipment and not even an army. They just have like a rescue team or a reconnaissance team basically, and they are going off to war and they just get bopped so hard, like holy shit. Excuse me, and I felt like scared, like oh my god, is Captain Rex gonna get killed off in season 1? But I mean, he actually took a shot to the shoulder, and they were pinned down pretty hard there. But it was all just really pressed for time, which I really like that too, with Senator Churi getting the approval from her people or whatever to just not engage or whatever. And then Chairman Cho's like, no, our people are stupid or they're idiots, they can't do this. I died for nothing.
Savages.
And he did die for nothing. He even said it, and that's what happens. Don't wage war.
Yeah, I think there's some episodes that try to do a theme or a lesson, because it is still like kind of a kid's show at time, and this was like this whole about peace can save lives, and Anakin and Obi-Wan multiple times are saying how if you just leave them alone and come to some sort of agreement, we can just go upon our days. And you see like the chairman being very cocky and, like I said, just very prickish. But I think that was a good lesson for this episode, and it wasn't over the top. Like, it wasn't heavy-handed. Yes, they talk about a lot, but I felt it was natural. Where sometimes, like, there's an episode, I think it was 1 or 2 ago, where Padme just multiple times really, really hit home, like, this episode is about this. Like, you get it, and it's like, I got it. Where this, I thought it was nice done, and so in subtle ways, and I was surprised. I thought, with the type of way the show is, I thought that we weren't going to get that war. I thought there'd be a peace treaty before, but I was surprised that all these people are getting killed off and dying.
You've got a lot more surprises as this show progresses.
Oh boy, more Solo Flesh episodes?
More Gungan episodes.
Oh boy, can I talk about that? Yeah, Anakin and Obi-Wan are good here. I like anytime. Ahsoka's growing on me, but anytime, if I would take an Anakin and Obi-Wan episode versus Anakin and Ahsoka, Ahsoka's getting episode chosen 0 out of 100 times, because I liked their adventures, I liked all their snow outfits and everything. So yeah, this was it was a big, there's a lot of stuff that happened in this episode, but at the same time it was very basic. Like, there's lots of battles, lots of moving to spaces. I love their snow outfits. I think I just said that, but yeah, do you have anything else to add on this episode?
If you don't have the time to watch Pocahontas or Avatar, and you only have a half an hour, watch this.
No.
Same kind of general idea. Invaders come, natives win.
I guess. I thought because to me with Pocahontas and Avatar, those are the secondary plots. No, maybe not Avatar. I thought you were referring to like because of those love stories in Pocahontas.
Oh no,
and
yeah,
Avatar.
take the love out. There's no love happening here.
And Ferngully, so that's why I think those are kind of the main stories in those ones. So I will. I will give this. You know what, I'll give it 2 thumbs up. I really enjoyed it. I thought I didn't enjoy it as much, but I was talking about it again. It was. I think it's a 2-thumber, so it was very good. So that's for me.
I'll do 2 thumbs up.
Okay. Let's see here. Episode 4. The Hidden Enemy. Jedi Knight Anakin and Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi lead the Republic forces in an attempt to defeat droid armies and free the planet of Christophsis? Christophsis? What the fuck?
Quick note on this too. This is actually the prequel to the Clone Wars movie.
I was gonna know. Really?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I'll ask some questions after. Christophsis. From the Separatist siege. When the Republic is ambushed and forced to retreat, it becomes clear that in the midst there has been a setup. The Jedi believe that the infiltration... hang on, I'm going to read that sentence quickly over again. The Jedi believe this infiltration is a sit-back operation and go behind enemy lines to investigate. Meanwhile, Captain Rex and Commander Cody set out to uncover the traitor amongst them. No, this episode takes place in between episode 38 and the feature film. So, that just hurts my brain. What does that mean, episode 38 and feature film?
Some of these episodes happened before.
This is fucking ridiculous. Why? So you're saying some happened before and some happened after? What type of fucked up continuity chronological storytelling is this?
There's no kid's gonna know.
I know now, and now I'm completely fucked because I don't know like what episodes are before and what's not.
Let me explain to you this way. In the order that we're watching these episodes, the way the story is told, in no way does it actually conflict with each other. These are all just arcs and events that happen throughout the Clone Wars era.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about continuality or
I would
anything
like
that.
to.
This happens
I think
again.
I feel like this was one of the reasons why I suddenly caught on to it the first time I was watching, and I felt like these stories didn't mesh, and there was no through line of storylines, and that's annoying.
I would say that this goes up until just
Season
a
5.
tiny bit of season 2, and that's it. And then season 3 to 6 is all consecutive continuality. At least from the way I took it when I watched through all the seasons.
Because that disappoints me, because like the last time I saw Grievous, he like fucked up on a mission, and I would like the follow up episode that Grievous.
Well, you'll
did.
get the follow up of that.
But will it be the next time I see Grievous, or will it be like 10 times later when I see Grievous?
No, it'll be for him. It'll be continuing on. But for Anakin and Obi-Wan, their story is just it kind of jumps around.
We'll see.
And why they actually went back to this kind of point in time with Christophsis, I don't know if they wanted to kind of flesh out a bit more of the movie or add a little background to it. But I totally forgot that this episode actually existed and was a prequel to the movie. And watching it, I really enjoyed it, and I thought that it actually did a lot of justice to the film and to itself. But I'll let you keep going while you're on your tangent.
No, that was it. That's
okay.
the synopsis done. Yeah, I haven't seen the film, so I wouldn't know. Yeah, I liked this episode. I really liked the traitor stuff. The Asajj Ventress stuff was good. I think there could have been more of it. I got some questions there and some kind of like questions that seem could be dumb. But yeah, I liked it a lot. I think anytime you can have a traitor or a rat in your midst and you're doing the whole trying to sniff it out, find out who it is, it can be fun. And that's what this was. It was a fun episode. Nothing earth-shattering. Nothing like, for me, I clearly remember the set piece from the last. Like, for me, a 2-star episode has to be, I enjoyed the full thing, and there's some either character moments I really enjoy or just set pieces like the previous episode with the big war ice battle and the setup and the peace treaty and stuff. Like, even when we go, weeks from now, I maybe won't remember the episode beat by beat, but I'll remember that. Where this was a good episode, but I don't think I'll remember much from it other than a few moments of fun action here and there, but nothing. I think it's a good episode, but nothing to write home about. Be like, didn't need to see this one.
Yeah, I really like how it was just the Jedi went out to do their own thing, and it was just left to Rex and Cody to kind of figure this out on their own, and how they just kind of pulled their resources and just kind of investigating. And even then, when I think it was super cool, it's something that isn't really touched upon. It's just they do cover it throughout the Clone Wars a little bit more, but just the fact of like a clone kind of going AWOL, like it's just something you wouldn't expect to happen because of the way they're programmed. But
how does that happen though?
It was the idea of something bigger, like he said, like he was doing it for his brothers. He was trying to free them because he sees them as being slaves, and that idea was obviously planted in there by Ventress. But it just goes to show that, you know, they are loyal soldiers to the end because, you know, it comes down again to each clone's different personality. Even though they are copies of each other, they all have their own unique personalities and traits. Because, I mean, Cody and Rex were just loyal through and through, even hearing him vent his idea and everything like that, but they didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how they confronted everyone in that one squadron.
Yeah, that was a good scene, yeah.
And just you're trying to figure out who it is, and when it turns out to be the sergeant, it's like really crazy, because then what are the people in his squad have to think, knowing their sergeant was a traitor. And I love how when he was on the run, the tactic they did where they just were just shouting out whatever kind of lie, they put the gun
I'll
there.
go and check the corridors. Yeah, that was good. I didn't like how he escaped though, because when they found out that it was him, he just like he like pushes one on the side and then he just runs, and all the clones are just standing there like, what do we do? Like none of them think to jump on this guy. Like,
Well, the clones, it's their sergeant.
Doesn't matter. He just was revealed to be a guy that put all their lives at risk. And I wish he would have. I'm fine with him escaping, maybe the clone's taking a second, but he like literally just like pushes. I can't remember what he does, but he does some sort of action, and then he just runs out the door, and they just all kind of like, oh, I guess.
I think
he's
he
gone.
punches Cody.
Yeah, and to me, I wish he would have punched more of them or done some more action or got out of there. I just felt it was very basic. Like, how does he get out of the scene? Oh, he just literally runs out of the scene. And it was kind of, that's kind of lame. I liked the setup after of them talking in the room and trying to trick him, but I thought that was a little lazy. And this show's done that a couple times, being like, take the easy way out.
I love the ending of the episode where it has Ventress and she lures him into the trap, and she has all of this the Separatist army landing behind her. I think that's super cool. But yeah, I like the episode kind of leading up to the movie. I think it was very cool.
Leading up to the movie, Jesus. Guess I should have watched that movie. Why? So do you think the Sith have much morals as far as killing people, right? Like, we talk about how Dooku does, but do you think the Sith in general will just kill people if they have to, if they're in the way?
If they're in the way, I mean, I don't know what Sith wouldn't.
So, my problem is, when we first meet Ventress in this episode, Anakin and Obi-Wan are walking into some sort of room, and Ventress comes from behind them, and then walks around, and then they see her, and then she takes off her hood and wants to fight. To me, I've got no reason why, maybe something in the series will show, she has some kind of her or whatnot, but I got no reason why I saw Ventress would not attack them from behind, as far as I don't get any vibe that she's a good person, or I don't get the vibe she has a Count Dooku code of honor. Count Dooku, I go, okay, that makes sense because he wants to beat them in a duel. A duel? A duel?
There you go.
I don't know what the
duel.
J come from the... I don't know. But I don't get the sense that she would be like, oh yeah, let's fight to death. I feel like, especially with her being an assassin, she would want to take them out. So can you defend her not attacking them from behind?
I think that it was just, they sensed that she was there.
But they don't really say anything until they physically see her, though. They don't even say like bad feeling or like something's going on. They're looking around, they see her at the corner, and they
but they knew everything was a trap, though.
But okay, but that's fine. But I'm saying, why didn't she? Even then, why wouldn't she still go for the attack? Because the worst they're gonna do is block her, right? She would have the upper hand coming from behind.
I think she wanted to just go for the entrance and the, I don't know, just go for the, what do you call it? Showmanship a little bit, but I don't know.
I don't agree with her being. She's an assassin.
She's an assassin. The whole trap was laid for them to go through and get through the defenses and get all the way into their headquarters. So she knew that they were aware of a trap. So she knew that anything she would have done would have been it wouldn't have been justified.
But you don't
they
need
would have
to.
Been ready for
you don't need to set. I don't agree with that. You don't need to set up a trap if they are dead.
Well, no, the trap was set because they had all those droids not attacking. So she knew that they would notice that.
But I'm saying she set this trap for these two, right? if she just kills them, she can just move on with life and go on to the next thing.
Well, that was probably her plan, was to eventually kill them, but just to show the defeat. Or her other plan that she had set up.
With this
character. Her other plan that she might have set up was she expected that clone to get away with sabotaging everything, and then the Jedi would be overrun by the whole droid army.
But why not just kill them if you get the chance?
You know, if I was some bald alien lady, I'd maybe could relate, but I got nothing.
Does she have any sort of past with Obi-Wan? Because she said something like, "Oh, good to see you again, Master Kenobi," or whatever, Master and Kenobi. And then she said another line later on, like hinting like, "I did this last time." Like, she has multiple lines about ending about a past with Obi-Wan. Do they have some sort of past, or is she just freestyling?
I think she's encountered him before, but she used to be a Jedi Padawan.
Okay.
And then she was... her master was killed, and she was abducted by like slave traders, and then sold into slavery, and then ended up being sold to Count Dooku, and he trained her and raised her.
Okay, so other than possibly bumping into each other as like a knight and Padawan, there's no big history they have or anything, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah, she's pretty poorly written.
Very flirtatious.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give this episode in the middle now. I gave it a thumbs up, but talking about there's a lot of plot holes here. It doesn't make sense actually to attack. There's a lot of like weirdly written stuff, and I had a few problems. So yeah, actually in the middle, because like I said, this episode doesn't go towards anything other than the film, but the film should be in the past. We shouldn't be doing fucking prequel episodes to the film 14 episodes in, but I digress. So yeah, thumb in the middle actually. I think this just we got one more episode to talk about, but this kind of just stuck with the I'm excited to watch some more so we can talk about it, but the past 2 times we did episodes I was like, I finished, I want to keep watching more. After this I was like, I'm good to take a little break until next week because I didn't enjoy many of these episodes other than the last one. All of them are just kind of ho-hum for me. So what rating are you giving this one?
I'll give it 1 thumb up.
1 thumb up. And we come to our final episode. The Blue Shadow Virus. The Republican discovers a separatist bioweapon lab hidden on the planet of Naboo. Rather than wait for help.
There you go. We're going back to Naboo. That's
I
what
want
you wanted.
OG planets. Original trilogy. Lucas. Kirshen. Rather than wait for help, Padme explores the lab with Jar Jar. Anakin, Ahsoka, Rex, and Obi-Wan have arrived and are following after her. They find that the senator is being held captive by the sinister Dr. Vindy. The mad scientist is developing a lethal virus for the separatists. Vindy threatens to set off a bomb and release the virus. I think this is probably the second worst episode, probably behind the first Jar Jar one, Bombad Jedi.
Wow.
I think the Mr. Freeze ripoff is really lame. Like, I don't... There's some stuff, and this is just even in... I've not the episodes we reviewed, but what I've seen of Clone Wars, and I think this happens a lot with Lucas, and obviously he had a hand in this, and this has a lot to do with the prequels. There's some stuff, and for me that's why I defend Force Awakens, I defend Last Jedi, I like them both for different reasons, but one of the biggest reasons, as I put as pro, is this feels like Star Wars concerning those movies. The prequels for me a lot of times do not. They feel like they are poorly made Star Wars. They feel like they're in there. They feel like the original trilogy and the new trilogy feel like the MCU, where the prequel trilogy feel like the X-Men movies, where they're Marvel movies, but they have a really different style. And you cannot put those in the MCU because they just wouldn't match. But they're comic book movies, blah blah blah, and they have similar themes. But this episode felt like that, where this entire episode, it's not just because Jar Jar in any episode's going to bring it down. So if Jar Jar's ever in an episode, even if Qui-Gon Jinn comes back from the dead and like fights Darth Maul and they just blow up in a volcano, if Jar Jar's in the episode, I'm never giving it 2 stars. Jar Jar's annoying, unless he got his head chopped off. And I'm not even saying that just to be cool. He's just kind of annoying. He's just a character, and I would bring up here some cons. He just doesn't need to be in these adventures. It doesn't make sense.
He has to be here. This is his own planet.
No, he doesn't. I'll tell you why. So Dr. Vindy did not feel Star Wars at all. Like I said, he just looks like Mr. Freeze. He felt like a comic book villain. He felt like the one he feels like Bon Voyage a little bit. Like, he feels legitimately like a bad comic book villain. And I would give him maybe a pass if this was the Spider-Man retro, but in Star Wars retro, I feel like this kind of Dr. Terrace character did not fit at all. The whole subplot I feel like did not fit at all. Even just stuff as far as him having her and Jar Jar and Padme and this like electric shocking thing. It was very James Bondish. This whole entire episode just did not feel like Star Wars from start to finish. And there's some holes in there as well. Like Anakin is way too over the top and revealing as far as his feelings with Padme. He like caresses her face at one point, and it's just like, you can't just do that shit because they're married and there's relationships, so we gotta do this. Like, at least in the prequels there was some tact, like they try to go behind like a fucking like
just
wall
behind a pillar when there's still tons of people around.
No, true. It's unbelievable, but at least Kay made some little effort. Where this just feels like there's no effort made whatsoever. Jar Jar's annoying. There's a girl, Jar Jar. Yikes. I don't think you need Jar Jar in this episode because it's its own planet. But especially in this series, not even talking about the movies, in this series, every episode he's been in, they've established that he's kind of more of a hassle to bring along than he should be. And then like, Jar Jar's there and everything. Like, at this point in the continuity, he should not be bringing on any adventures unless it's to go grocery shopping, because he's just going to screw up and everything like that. So yeah, I thought this was not even just an annoying episode, and not even because it was bad. I thought the Vindy stuff did not fit at all. It felt like a comic book, and I don't want that in Star Wars. Same way as I wouldn't want Marvel to completely feel like Star Wars. You can take little things from it, but this felt like they took a comic book villain and put it in a Star Wars role. It did not work at all. I didn't like his look. Like I said, he's just discount Mr. Freeze. So yeah, I was kind of offended by this episode, actually.
Was this written by your Batman guy?
No, I don't think it was written by Paul Dini. It was written by George Lucas. No, Craig Tiltley. But yeah, you know what? I'd have to go back. It might be on par with the Bombad Jedi. I might dislike it as much just because I feel like it's kind of a lazy episode. Yeah, Anakin and Obi-Wan are in there, have some adventurous stuff. But I'll throw it over. You have some notes, but I think I kind of blew my wad on this episode. I kind of said everything.
Wow. I think it's overall it's not too bad. I enjoyed the setup for what it does for the next episode. I think it's very cool.
Big setup. Yeah, we'll discuss that when we get to the next episode, because I feel like this does not do any setup.
The whole Blue Shadow virus, I think, is very cool to see bioweaponry brought into play here in the Star Wars universe, because it's something that definitely you'd think would be tacked into. And
fucking Vindy. Even at the end when he's just like, I'm gonna blow us all up and we'll all die, haha. Like, what the
I feel bad because Obi-Wan's like, start disarming these bombs. And those clones have disarmed the bombs one at a time. There's like 500 damn bombs in that room. And then it cuts like 5 minutes later, and they've only done like 4 bombs so far, and they're still going through. But somehow they deactivated all the bombs. Like,
they're good.
I would hate to be part of the Clone Trooper. Almost did it again. Clone Trooper bomb defusing squad.
Yeah, that
would be horrifying.
Lots of late nights.
But yeah, no, I don't mind the episode.
How do you feel about Dr. Vinny? Do you not agree that he feels a little cheesy, and he feel? All his dialogue is very comic book villainish, and I don't think that fits what we've gotten so far.
I felt like he was just another separatist nut. But I can see where you're coming from, see what you mean. I definitely can now see, without the helmet, I don't see the Mr. Freeze look, but when he put the breathable mask on, then I got the Mr. Freeze kind of
He's blue and he's bald too. Like, I guess I'm talking more comics and animated series, not Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze. What is the guy? I was happy to see this guy back from Attack of Clones. What's the guy with the name of the eye patch? He's like Padme's like assistant there.
Oh.
I was happy to see him.
Oh yeah, what is his name?
Is he in the series much?
I think he does make another comeback. Yeah, I can't.
One episode in this 6th season show.
I can't remember his name in the movie, but yeah, no, that's cool to see characters like that make a comeback.
And whatever happened to in Phantom Menace, maybe just let go. Who was the Padme's right hand guy with like the big hat? Who was kind of like had the hound ear like flaps on it. He's the guy that like walks out to Qui-Gon and says like, you got to take this assistant with you on Tatooine to walk around, and yeah.
You mean the African American?
Yeah. I didn't need to describe it like that, but okay. Yeah.
Well, you're being very vague. I didn't want to.
No, he's got the big hat. See, this guy the eye patch, you know?
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't recall him ever making a comeback. I feel like the guy with the eye patch is replaced him.
But yes, I always had in my mind that was the same character, but it's not. Do you know what happened to the floppy hat guy?
I have no idea what happened to him.
I'm gonna look into it. Yeah, and then I just put on Anakin's awful high, and it's like at one moment when the senator's kidnapped, like, but the senator has to be saved. And everyone's like, don't be so like shit. I thought I had the line, but he's just like, he just tells him to settle down. Like, don't be too careless, stuff like that. And then he's like, I'm not. Like, I know what's at stake here. And like, it's fine to be a movie Anakin, but I feel like in the series so far, they've done a terrible job at hiding this. And that's why I was gonna ask, like, in the series so far, they've played off like Obi-Wan has suspicions, but in Revenge of the Sith, I guess we talked about this is pretty cool. When he goes, the base Anakin's, isn't that? To you, is that a moment where he's finally put it all together, or do you think he's kind of always known that they had something on the side, and he just wasn't going to say anything because, you know, he loves Anakin, he loves Padme, but then he realizes that, oh, that kid could be his?
I think he knew in his heart that Anakin was very close to Padme, but I don't think he ever suspected that that was the case, that he was the father. I think it didn't clue in until the events where Yoda said, use your feelings, you'll find him, and just kind of search, and that's why he knew to go to Padme. And that's why he's like, oh, Anakin, you are the father, you know.
That's not what he says. 2 thumbs down for me.
I'll give it a thumb sideways, neutral.
We don't see Dr. Vinny again, do we?
This is an arc. This is actually an arc.
But do we see him again? Mm-hmm. Fuck. He's such a lame character. He does not feel like Star Wars at all. And yeah, I already said earlier that... what was that episode called? Trespass or Defenders of the Peace. That was my favorite of the. Sorry. Trespass was. No,
Trespass, yeah.
Was it Trespass?
Yeah.
Trespass was my
favorite. The
favorite.
Snow Planet.
Yeah,
and
the
clothes.
Blue Shadow Virus was definitely my least favorite. You got a favorite episode in this bunch?
I like Trespass, followed by the Battle of Christophs this episode. I really like that. The bad dude, the
hidden enemy.
The hidden enemy. Can you do a good voice of Dr. Vindy?
The bomb gonna blow us all up! Ah! You gotta save me, or you'll save your friends, or you'll save the bomb! Ah! I am Dr. Vinny, the Blue Shadow Virus! I don't even know if that's his voice. He felt like he is annoying. Okay, where can they find... this show.
Clone Wars Retrospective episode
These
4.
next 5 episodes better end on a high note.
I guarantee this is the season finale in the next episode. Okay. And that season finale, the introduction to a new character, and
Mrs. Vindy.
Yeah.
Yes! My husband's back.
But it is honestly absolutely fantastic, super, super cool episode finale that we get to, and I think you'll enjoy it. If you don't, then holy smokes, but you'll like it.
I've always been excited to see Cad Bane, so.
Oh, there you go. Spoilers, Cad Bane.
Hashtag Netflix thumbnails.
Because
they change it up. It's just not all fucking pictures of stormtroopers.
Should be.
No, it should see.
All the clone troopers. Ladies and gentlemen out there in the Geekverse, you can find us with your internet connection. The search bar, go to Facebook, and that search bar on there, you're going to type in Geekverse Space Podcast. You're going to find all this awesome stuff. You're going to scroll down, see awesome links. You're going to see pictures, news articles. You're going to see some awesome corresponding articles and content related to whatever you like. There's something for everyone.
If you like sewing, you're not going to find it here. But, just do whatever he said. If you like these episodes, head over to Patreon. You could be watching these live with us while we're watching our reviews when they get posted live. Even if they're coming to the podcast form now, I imagine you should head over to Patreon because you get a whole whack and unload probably seasons worth of episodes, so I suggest you do that. If not, just keep subscribing on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Podbay, all your good services out there. If there's a service out there, we're likely on it. So thank you very much for tuning in. Please, like I said, like, review, subscribe. Tell us. We only got Jessica's vote, but the next episode we'll have the Geek versus thoughts on if they were, Ran and Kylo wanted to get it on. Let us know in the comments. Let us know about Dr. Vinny. So thank you very much for tuning in to another episode of Star Wars Clone Wars Retro. May the Force be with you.
Always.